Hey, folks, welcome to the Triple T for Knife Makers podcast. Today, I am without Mr. Jerid, but I have two exciting guests. I've got Tre from Third Hill Customs joining me. Hey, Tre, how's it going?
What's up, man? How you guys?
I'm great. And also, for the first time ever, I have my son Parker joining us on the podcast.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Hey, Parker was my helper and head salesman at the table this past weekend at Blade Show, which is mostly going to be our topic for today. You guys recovered yet?
No.
A little bit.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Very jet lagged.
I swear I was more tired from this Blade Show than I think any one I had been at, even though we were at the Waverly, which is for the first time, and we were the closest and probably did the least amount of walking. I slept till 9 o'clock today. I haven't done that for, I'd say at least 5 years. I can't believe it.
It was wild. I feel like there was a ton of like extracurriculars this year. You know, there's a bunch of stuff going on after the show, before the show, the day before, the day after. So I mean, it was just a 3-day Blade show felt like a 5-day Blade show this year somehow.
Yeah. And Tre, you're local, right? You're like half an hour from the show.
Yeah, we were. I'm 34. It takes me 34 minutes every morning to get to the Galleria from my house, so it was great.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, we took the red eye, which was a bad start to an already tiring weekend, and our flight was Wednesday night, so we got in at Thursday 7 or 8 a.m. with zero sleep because I can never sleep on a plane.
Same, can't sleep on planes.
Yeah, and the dickhead beside us, like, so it's me and Parker, and then the guy beside us at the aisle, and I'm not talking about Jerid.
I thought you were talking about your kid beside you. I was like, oh my God.
No. Well, he was beside it. I made Parker have the middle seat since yours truly is paying for the flight.
Status.
This guy decides on an overnight flight he's going to leave his light on and read his book the entire time. There's no other lights in the entire plane except for the guy beside us. So that didn't help.
I feel like if you're booking that flight, you can buy a Kindle. Like it's time to get a Kindle and put it in dark mode.
Right.
Like, welcome to 2025.
It was just, I don't know. I just felt it was really rude to be like having your bright light shine down on a flight where everyone's trying to sleep. But
just have a bit of courtesy.
Yeah.
It is kind of crazy. I mean, it's like, planes are like Blade Show. It's just a giant social experiment of, a little awareness to keep you out of everyone's way really goes a long way.
Yeah. But we got in, we set up right away. We got right to the Waverly and set up. We were done by, what was it, like 9:30, Parker? We were done?
Yeah, pretty early.
And then Jerid gets the bright idea, let's go and see if we can check in. And I'm like, no fucking way are they going to let us check in. And we registered and they put us on a list. They called us at 10 o'clock and said our room was ready.
Oh my God.
I could not believe it. And Jerid, of course, said, I told you so, I told you so.
Told you so. Yeah.
But that was happy because we had a nap and a couple-hour nap. And then, got ready to go to your place.
I know. It was fun. I was about to say, I was like, what? I was trying to remember what time you guys got out there. So, but it was a lot of fun.
We had a bit of Uber confusion.
I heard about this last night.
I don't know how. This has happened to me before in Uber where I type in the address. I think it tries to find it and then it brings up recommendations. Mm-hmm. And I think I guess I clicked on one of the recommendations and it was like 15 minutes from your house.
Oh, that's crazy.
And we drove there and like we're knocking on the door. Hey, is this Tre's house? And Jerid goes walking around the back.
He's like trying to hop over the fence.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I'm this doesn't look like what I imagine Tre's house to be as you've described it.
Yeah, I mean, we live in a town called Powder Springs, and the original name is Gunpowder Springs. So, like, it's a couple Californians rolling up.
Yeah, it's especially like walking up to someone's door unannounced is one thing, but trying to walk around the back of the house, that's like, something you don't do in the South.
Did you have to book another Uber, or had that guy left? Or okay,
the guy. This doesn't look like it, so stay here, and then we had to add on to the.
Nice.
I think it was like $100 Uber day for me, but
oh my God.
Yeah.
Just cost of doing business. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, that was a great night. We had a good time.
Your place is gorgeous. It was great to see everyone. You're an incredible host. The food was amazing. It was
We
great.
did heirloom barbecue. It's the best gas station barbecue in Atlanta. So.
That banana pudding, man. Ooh.
Oh, my wife made the banana pudding. That was
That was
she
the
was
best
really
part,
excited
honestly.
about it.
I mean, the barbecue was great, and I didn't expect to like that banana pudding as much as I did.
Well, she put bourbon in it, so that that has a little something to do with it, maybe.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to see your shop.
Yeah, shop was fun. It's a new rebuild. It was a good time to see it when it's absolutely filthy from 3 weeks of nonstop work. So,
Yeah. You are one of the hardest full-time knife makers. One of the hardest knife makers who has a full-time job that I know of.
Yeah, it was.
How many blades did you bring to Blade Show?
I think the final count was 31.
Wow.
It was like I think it was 31, and I took 15 to Austria. This is what really messed me up. I took 15 to Austria, expecting to sell maybe 5, and I sold, I think right at 10 at the Austria show, which was fantastic. And then I got back, and that left me with 5. So I made, whatever that is, 26. I made 26 in 3 weeks. And the first week while I was back, I had a sinus infection, and I was out. I was kind of out of it for 5 days. So really, it was about 2.5 weeks worth of, just nonstop 2 a.m., 1 a.m. nights, and getting down to the shop after my full-time job and then staying down there. So it was stressful, but it's just what you do. It's fun. It's what you do. It was fine. So I'm exhausted, but it turned out well. And I was really hoping to break 40. Like I did 30 knives last year, and I was hoping to break 40 this year. And it just wasn't in the cards. Next year's 40. Next year I'll have 40.
I don't think I've ever brought even close to 40 knives to Blade Show.
Mm-hmm. We definitely brought a lot more knives last year.
Yeah, but I brought a lot more lower end knives last year that I could batch make. This year I brought almost all customs. And,
I feel like you had a lot of like stuff on there too. I mean, you had like the straightening hammers, and you had keychains, and you had the YouTube knives. I mean, you had a great table with some great knives on it.
Yeah, I don't understand Blade Show. Every year I think I have it figured out. It's never what I expect. We'll get into that, I'm sure, later on in the podcast. But I did actually. I'm going to break tradition. I'm going to mention my maker spotlight early because my maker spotlight this week is Mr. Martin Huber. Over at Martin Huber _knives. And the reason I'm mentioning him early is because we're talking about the Austria Blade Show, the Austria Knife Show. Is that what he calls it? The official name?
Knife Show Austria, I believe. Okay. So if we say his name 3 times in a row, he's likely to show up. He's at my house somewhere out this way. So he might peek his head in a minute.
We definitely would have said bring him on.
Yeah, he's around here somewhere. It was funny. The Italians and the Germans and the Austrians, they had 2 things on their list that they wanted to see, and that was Walmart and Costco. So my wife took them to Costco this afternoon. So
that's so funny.
It just breaks their brain.
I'm sure if you had a Buc-ee's closer, that would have been one of them, right?
Yeah, Buc-ee's would have been a good one, but I think the closest Buc-ee's is about 45 hour away from here or something. So
yeah, Martin is super cool. That is the most time I've spent with Martin at a Blade Show. We got to hang out a lot and talk, and the guys that he brought, really cool. I love that whole crew that we went to dinner with the next night.
Because that was the Italian Martin and the Italians and South Africans, and who else was there?
Dimitri.
Dimitri. He's Swiss.
We had the whole European contingent there. It was great. But so I was a little, that threw me because the Austria Knife Show was when? It was like a month ago?
It was great podcasting material. I'm looking at my phone just to get an actual date. It was May 10th.
May 10th. Okay. But next year, you said it's going to be in October next year, right?
October.
Okay.
I don't know the exact dates. I don't know if it's like fully locked in, but October. It's the next date, October 2026, not 2025. So October
Right.
2026.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's good. And I think that's better for folks going to Blade Show because they were pretty close
For
together.
me, for me for sure. But yeah.
I mean, just for selling stock, like having to make knives between a show that's a month later is crazy.
100%. And I think I don't know of many shows. I don't know of a show. I've been looking for a show in the fall for a while, like a good show in the fall, and I don't know if there's really one. I'm not sure when. I don't remember when Blade Show Utah is. I know
That's
Texas.
October.
Blade. That one's October. Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually like the first or second week of October.
Okay. Yeah. And so like it's really good to have a fall show because I do think that like being able to tap into this like Christmas buying season and
Absolutely
trying to do all this stuff that it's post vacation dollars, so everyone right now is holding dollars to go on vacation. And I think that was a common trend amongst Blade Show this year, is from a lot of tables and a lot of makers I talked to. But I think I think a fall show is really great. It's a good idea.
Yeah. Parker, that's the only one you haven't been to, right? The Utah one?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
I've been to Texas and Atlanta.
Yeah. The Utah one is definitely the smallest of the three, only because I think it's jumped around. I mean, it was in Oregon, it was in Portland for a while, and then it went to California one year, and that was terrible.
Right.
Which is actually the first Blade show I ever went to, so everything was up from there.
It
was during COVID. We had to have vaccine cards. We had to have masks.
It was just I don't need paperwork to go to a show.
Yeah. But so I think it's found a home in Salt Lake City, but it's not my favorite venue, not my favorite show. The last couple of years, we've always gone to Maker Camp which is not a knife show, but
right.
Gone to Maker Camp in upstate New York.
I forget, that's October too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's usually the same weekend or the weekend after.
Right.
So you usually got to pick between them.
I told myself last year I was going to Maker Camp and just didn't make it. It just wasn't in the cards for whatever reason. Actually, I say it's not in the cards like it was, I had something going on, but honestly, I just forgot to make arrangements to get up there. But I mean, you want to talk about a great experience. I mean, I've heard nothing but great things about Maker Camp, except the year it flooded. But it's
even then there was nobody.
But even then, it was a great. Yeah.
We're all in good spirits. It was fun. It's a totally different experience than Blade Show. It is not a trade show. It's like a camp, and there's like different tents. You want to do flint napping. You want to do this. You want to do that. It's 9:30 at night. Hey, let's forge a knife. Let's go over to the forging tent, to the blacksmith tent, and forge a knife. Or forge or whatever. So it's a doing thing, not a watching thing, kind of. If that makes sense.
Walk around and spend a lot of money.
What was that? Sorry.
It's not walking around and spending a lot of money like Blade.
Yeah. Yeah. The people Maker Camp gets. I mean, I know Jimmy Dress is there. I don't really know the whole story about Maker Camp, but or his involvement with it. But like, I mean, they pull some people to Maker Camp. I mean, it's a laundry list of like everyone you're watching online. It's cool.
And for knife makers, like the first year we went, I had you're hanging out. Okay, Mareko basically did a master class on making integral knife, from forging the billet to grinding the integral to everything, shaping the handle. And I was standing over his shoulder the entire time.
Did he? I mean, was that like a one-shot class, or was this over 3 days?
Through the weekend, like an hour, an hour in the afternoon, an hour in the morning, an hour. But I mean, that's like a $2,000 class with Mareko. I mean, we get to do that. And last year, it was fun for Jerid was up there, or Jerid was in the Broadbeck tent. They had that little power hammer. They had a press. They had a couple of anvils, and him and Brent are forging knives beside Josh Prince making an integral cleaver.
That's wild.
You just don't get to do that.
That's yet another wizard at Blade Show. I mean, Josh Prince is a wizard. Like this year was my first year meeting Josh Prince in person, and he's just like, number one, what a lovely human being.
Yeah.
But number two, what a talented maker with like a vision that's so unique to him. It's really cool.
Yeah. And he's such a gracious guy. Like he's so nice and so easy to talk to. And he's helped me on with the stainless Damascus.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had him on videos before. Like similar with what you and I did with the Hamones.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Talking about the stainless Damascus. So yeah,
he and I got in a long talk about like stainless woots over the weekend, and it's the last thing I should have talked about, but I did. So
is that
now I want to do it. So.
That's a thing.
Yeah. Did Parker go to Maker Camp with you last year?
I've never been to a Maker Camp.
I'd
love to go one year.
Yeah, we might drag him this year.
And it's not just, I think the cool thing about Maker Camp is that name is, I love on the Blade Show episode, we're talking about Maker Camp so much that I've never been to. But the Maker Camp, it is makers of all walks of life. I mean, there's engravers, there's, online engineers that are, there's a girl that is Zyla Foxen who is, she's building an airplane in her garage right now and fighting for like this like social awareness of mental health for pilots. I mean, it's all walks of life and people that are there that are like just really, really cool, really down to earth, and you can spend time FaceTime with them. And it's just super talented people that are, that exist in this kind of same world that we do. It's really cool.
Yeah. And all the makers are a little quirky, so we all mesh well together.
I mean, a normal person can't do that. I mean, they can, I'm sure, but like, I mean, the greats are always a little weird.
Yeah. So back to Blade Show.
Yeah.
So one of the first people of the day, actually, even before I saw you, one of the first people I hooked up was my twin, Lawrence Lake, of course. He strolled in and hooked up with us, dropped some stuff at the table. Of course, everyone, if you don't know who Lawrence Lake is, you should. Lawrence is the owner and purveyor at Maritime Knife Supply, one of our longest sponsors. I got all my stuff from Maritime. You guys should too. Lawrence is the best. He's also a maker. So go check out Maritime Knife Supply for all your needs. I especially love for Damascus that you can get him to cut the steel to whatever length you want. I just put in an order the other day. And I thought I put it in the notes, but sometimes I forget. And he talked to me at Blade Show and he goes, "Hey, what do you want that steel cut to?" And he's the guy that cuts it physically.
Oh, wow.
To make sure that it ends up getting right. So,
yeah, I mean, I ordered from Maritime too. I mean, I had a question about, my polishing stones, because I'm always kind of switching things up, and he was able to answer everything I needed to know about that. And then I needed RWL for this custom special order that I was doing and forgot to order from Sweden, and called Lawrence, and I was like, "Hey man, do you got this? Can you get it to me quick?" And he just right out the door. So, I mean,
yeah,
he's a great dude, great supplier. So
yeah,
I agree with all that.
He's just a good guy. He's great to hang out. We always end up hanging out together, whether it's Blade Show, Maker Camp, wherever. So
yeah, he was at the house, right? Yeah, he was with the he was over here. Yeah. It was cool to have him out and let him poke around a shop and all that stuff. So he's a good dude.
Yeah, it was good. So set up, and then Friday morning, I'm. Here's something that I was struggling. I'm still struggling with whether I want to move my table, and I'm curious how Friday went traffic wise for you, because your table's a little bit closer than mine. I don't know that it's massively closer, but what did you think of Friday at Blade?
I think if you ask everyone at Blade Show, they'll complain about their table. But they love their neighbors, right? So I think like for me, it's really about like curating this row and having good neighbors that you trust. I can leave my table for 2 hours and I know someone's watching my stuff, right? But I will tell you that, I mean, I felt like attendance was down this year in general. So I don't think that there were definitely times where I would look down our row and there was nobody. And it felt like, oh, there's a bunch over here. But then if I walk around when I would walk around when my row's empty, and then when I come back, it feels like no one's in the front and my table's crowded. So I think it binges and purges. But I don't know. I think if you like your neighbors, you stay. And there's a lot to repeat customers and repeat business and letting people know where you are. And I think a little consistency in your table helps. So I don't know
Yeah.
if there's the perfect spot.
Yeah. Parker, what did you think? Would you, compared to last year, do you think Friday this year was a little slower or what?
Yeah, it definitely did start out a bit slow. It really picked up around Saturday. That was definitely the busiest day of the year, but
Yeah.
traffic was for sure down this year.
Yeah. I do think overall, like we always get that burst around 10 or 11 on Saturday, and there was a lot of foot traffic. Like when people have a hard time walking between each other in the rows, like that's a good sign. I felt like we only had that for about 2 hours.
We got a visitor here real quick. I think he wants to say hi.
There
Say hi to
he is.
Denis.
There he
Hello,
is.
everyone.
I told you he was here somewhere.
Just want to say I didn't even know you were there, and I picked you for my maker spotlight this week. So
Really?
yes.
Oh.
I said if you say his name 3 times, he's like Beetlejuice. He'll show up, and he just walked in. So
Yeah. We were messaging each other an hour ago about the YouTube Knife Maker Challenge. I thought you were
nice.
I'm happy to have you in the challenge. We're going to have some new blood in the challenge this year. So
Happy to be a
that's
part.
great.
Happy to be a part.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what magic you're going to bring.
So I'll let you guys alone again.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Oh, that's cool. That's funny that he's there.
I knew like Beetlejuice. I knew he'd pop in here in a second. But, yeah, traffic wise. Scare you. Yeah, no, he was trying to scare me. He said so.
Yeah, I one of the things I'm definitely I kind of drag my feet on. I should have got one of those overhead banners for the table because it was Parker shaking his finger at me. I should have got that this year because there are a lot of people saying, "Oh, I've been looking for you for a while." I mean, a lot of it is just fans. It's not necessarily fans of the YouTube, not necessarily people that are going to be, buying stuff. Maybe they will, but a lot of people looking for me that don't necessarily find me. And the being in the O row is actually bad because every time somebody looks at it, they're going, "Oh, you're at table 230."
23-0.
It's 23-0, but every time people think it's 230 and they're off in the booth somewhere looking for me. So yeah, that's bad.
I mean, it's interesting because there's some big guys that moved around this year. I think don't quote me on this. So if I'm wrong, I apologize in advance. But I believe like Will Stelter was in a different row and table this year.
He got a booth, didn't he?
No, he was in.
Oh, he's in
a table. Yeah, he was near the Artificery. He was near Gabe Fletcher, the Artificery, and Josh Prince was right behind him. The Artificery I know was in a different table, so I don't know. I think I feel like there were probably a lot of decisions that were some people were maybe they won't come to Blade Show, and then that's when your table gets moved if you don't rebook and know by December. So,
yeah, the main thing for me is if I move tables, I love all my neighbors. We're right beside Eric Grenier, Hall and Anvil, and actually the guys beside Berg Blades that just started beside us. Those guys are really cool. So I like all my neighbors. James at Wasteland Forge is a new neighbor this year. So
his table moved. He was closer up front last year too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love all the neighbors, but I don't know. I didn't do that well this year. This is probably one of the worst Blade shows I have, and not that I'm going to attribute it to some other things. I'm not blaming location. It would have been nicer if I had a banner though. So that's definitely on the ticket for next year.
I do think that that area that you're in, for whatever reason, feels like the supplies corner. I feel like there's a lot of handle material sellers. There's a lot of that over there. So I wonder if sometimes if other makers are crowding makers aren't really our buyers a lot of times.
Yeah.
I wonder if your area is getting crowded with people buying supplies, and maybe that's discouraging. It's crowding at the table in a way. I don't know. I was in this. I was thinking about Blade Show too, because again, like you said, traffic felt down my show ended up all right on Sunday, but Saturday I was thinking a lot about it, and I was like, should Blade Show be broken up with like, hey, material suppliers are here and the Balisong kids are there, and not necessarily chef knives, but like makers are in these middle rows or something. I don't know. I feel like
Separated by category. I get what you
sure,
mean.
yeah. So people can kind of find the area if you're looking for independent people that are making knives, which is the bulk of the show. Maybe that's maybe that's 3 complete blocks, but anyone that's selling materials is in a corner. It's like a maker supply central or something. I don't know. There's no right answer to any of this. So
I think that would have been an awesome idea the year they set it up. I think it would be a total clusterfuck to try to do it now because a whole contingent are going to be pissed off.
Yeah.
Because they're already at the front and they're suppliers and they don't want to be booked into some other corner with a bunch of suppliers. So
whatever you do, you can't make everyone happy. But the collectors, all the guys that are selling, the antique folders and all the case knives and all that, they're all kind of in the same area.
Yeah.
A lot of the Texas slip joint cartel, they've got their row. So, I mean, that's more like curated, kind of like what we've done with our row, where I'm surrounded by Italians because I've told Blade Show that I'm the translator. So,
sure. The southern guy from Georgia as the translator. That's not
well. I speak fluent Italian. I don't at all, but not a lick. But it was a good way to get in. But and it's fun. And then you work on this stuff with your neighbors, and your neighbors can make or break a show. If anyone's looking at a table, like it's the best thing you can do is get to know your neighbors and
absolutely and had fun with them. We had Seth beside us. He's also moved up by like he's basically across the hall, across the row from Artificery, right?
Oh yes, yeah.
He's another one that moved up. That's a real power row now.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't mind being up closer to that. But that's a lot of competition in that row, though.
Yeah, I will say being closer forward is probably a better move. Closer to the front doors is, I would say, better. It's just less chances for someone to see something shiny and veer off on like snaking back and forth through the paths.
Yeah, and the other thing that is unfounded, I don't know why, I like my table to face the door. I don't know why. I know why, because if I do a banner, I want people to see the banner. I want people as they're walking up to the table to see it, as opposed to having to go around this backside. But I mean, you're on that backside of the table, and it's working for you. But you're also a little closer to the front.
All the French folder makers are across from me. So like the Texas, the slip joint cartel, like those guys are all in a row. All the the fancy French folder makers are in a row as well, and those guys are right across from me. So, I'm stuck in the middle of Europe. Like I'm just surrounded by Europeans. It's fantastic. I love it clearly, but that's just kind of where I ended up. And I unless we all moved, I wouldn't move. There'd be zero chance because your neighbors can make or break a show. I truly believe it. And we all sell chef now.
Yeah, well,
crazy. So
I've got two new neighbors. Yeah, that's true. You guys all have, at least where I'm at, except for James. There's not really people that do what I do around my tables.
Right.
So that was good too, but maybe it's good, maybe it's not. I don't know. It's good to have a group of similar things around, and then people go there to look for all those things, and you're included in that. So who knows?
I think when a show feels slow, everyone starts figuring out what went wrong. And I don't know if the table location is really is really the thing that would affect it.
Yeah, I'll be honest. In the last day and a half, I've been like, overthinking everything. I went through the did I do something wrong? Was my pricing off? Which I think it was. I think I've been talking a lot over the last year that I think the contraction of the market is coming. I think it's here. I think we're seeing that.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to see a contraction in makers, fewer buyers, which is obviously going to cause a the market to contract. Some makers going to get out of it. So I think the market is flooded with knives right now with makers. So we're going to see some leave. And I think we're just starting to see that this year.
Yeah, and it's tough. I mean, my business.
Yeah, and I do think my prices were probably too high.
Yeah, I mean, my business has completely changed as a result of. I had a notion because I could see. I deal so much with retailers, so I can watch what my retailers are moving and what they're sitting on these days. And that $399 price point is the sweet spot for my knives currently. And so I was kind of trying to be conscious of that. And I brought a lot of those knives and I sold out of those. I mean, the only thing I took home was that really expensive, super polished Honyaki set, which I had no expectations of that selling at the show, but everything else sold. I mean, I had a $300 Kiridashi, Damasteel Kiridashi that moved. So, I mean, weird kind of high-end stuff was moving, but it was that $400 price point was where I found to be a sweet spot. And that's a tough thing to hit. I mean, I've spent forever trying to mitigate my material cost as best as possible so I can hit that spot.
Yeah, I was definitely, I think, had priced myself out of a lot of purchases. So I think I've already lowered the prices and put them on the website today. That's what I spent most of the day working on. And honestly, most of my customers are not coming to Blade Show. So,
right. I mean, you have a kind of an international direct to consumer base anyway. So
yeah,
I feel like,
yeah. But I want to mention one of our other sponsors, which is Mr. Coy Baker at Baker Forge and Tool, whose booth is just around the corner from my table. But Coy's and I don't know how well you know Coy, probably you a little bit. I don't know.
I know Gray better, but Gray's in that group. So. Yeah.
But they had a great show. They're just introducing their stainless Damascus line, so they had some at the show, and I think half of it sold Thursday morning.
Nice
to makers. So
nice.
They'll be. I don't think they're officially got that line up and running. They're still putting together some of the tooling for that line.
I was looking for it Friday on their website and I didn't see it. So unless it's changed since then I don't think it's up.
Yeah, no, I don't think they had some for the show, but I don't think they have it up for production sales yet.
Yeah.
But I know they did really well at the show. Most of their steel was gone. When I talked to Coy Friday morning, I think he said they had 7 jugs of the 50 gator piss that they brought. That's what they had left Sunday morning.
Nice.
And I imagine most of that went. So,
I mean, as a plug for them, I mean, I purchased the new stainless Gator, the Gator Piss Max. The Max. So I purchased a jug of that. I'm super pumped to try it. And honestly, my favorite new thing from someone who makes carbon steel polished chef knives, that the nano ceramic coating.
Gator skin.
Yeah, gator skin. That's what it is. I am super pumped on that. Like I'm all in on this gator skin. I'm all in on testing it to see what it does. I don't know, but I assume it's a great product.
I've used it. It was actually applied to one of my knives on the table, and nice. I'm still. That my video on gator skin was supposed to come out last week, folks, but I had some issues in testing it. I didn't realize I was going to have to do some lengthier tests that I couldn't do in the day and a half, and me being procrastinating and waiting until a day before I had to put my video in the can. So I just didn't have enough time to do those tests. So I'm hoping this week I will have the gator skin review video. But I had on one of my knives, it makes water bead off
nice,
like Rain-X on a windshield,
nice
kind of thing.
Nice.
Even mineral oil will bead off like that. And I've got a couple swatches down in the metal coupons down in the shop that I did in gator skin, and but one without, one with, and dipped them in water before the show. And I'm anxious to go see what they look like. And I know one of them is going to be rusty and one of them is not.
Yeah.
So definitely.
In honor of Jerid, I'd be remiss to not make a joke about the beat off comments for him. I gotta pay him a little homage, and I can't let that one go. I can't let it go. I'm not gonna make the joke, but I can't. I have to acknowledge that it's there. So.
Yeah, but go get yourself some Baker Forge and Tool, steel, gator piss, any of the types, and now gator skin that you can get, and use the discount code T10 to get yourself 10% off any of the Baker Forge products.
Yeah, the gator skin's going to be. I think the gator skin's going to be really great for chef knife makers for stopping some patina and carbon steels and things like that. So
yeah,
probably would do a good job of like locking oxides in as well if you think about it. So like, you spend all this time etching a chef knife and you cut something acidic, so it's going to keep that knife looking like it is longer. So
yeah,
I mean, I'm excited for it.
I'm curious. I didn't get the opportunity to go to Grayson's or Baker's talk on gator piss and etching because we all fight with how to keep the oxides on the blackness on the knife after etching, and I got a feeling gator piss is going to be great for that too.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's frustrating enough to the point for me that I don't even etch. I don't etch. Well, my stainless Damascus I'll etch, but my carbon steels I stay away from it because the look changes over time, and I'd rather have something that just stays. That's my own personal.
So you etch it and then buff it clean, kind of thing.
I don't etch at all.
Oh, you don't etch at all?
I don't. My sand mines I don't etch at all. So it's a little more not traditional finish, but it is since it's a stainless over a carbon, you can it polishes at a different I see. Refraction rate.
Yeah.
So it just looks like it is. So I quit. It's one step I don't have to worry about, and when I'm trying to finish 25 knives in 2 weeks, not having to etch 20 of them was a huge time saver. So
I know a bunch of years ago, Morocco did one of his high Damascus knives, but then chose not to finish it purely because he wanted the patina. He wanted the person, as they're using the knife, to say, "Oh, wow, that's really cool." As it patinas, then the pattern emerges.
Yeah.
Which is really bold for a knife maker to be like, I think this is cool enough that I don't need to show it off. You know what I mean?
But he's another wizard. I mean, they're
sure.
Clearly Damascus wizards, and Gabe Fletcher's another one. But like Morocco, Jai, those guys are all wizards. Mert Tansu, you're around near Mert. You're over in that area, and he had stainless steel woots there, which was boggling my mind the whole time.
I did not catch that table, and you said that earlier, stainless steel woots, which is blowing my mind right now. But
look, I haven't stopped thinking about it for 3 days, and it's going to be. I can feel the problem growing in my mind.
Spencer Sanderson, I'm putting this in your brain now. I want to see you do stainless woots.
Yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, that's a different podcast, but that's a whole podcast.
Yeah, but I'm jumping back and forth because I had a million things in my head. Yeah, after your place, we went to Maximus Knives, Neil's place that we always do.
Warren,
so we were jumping all over the place Thursday night. It was great to see all my friends over there. Got to see Brian House and all those guys. And Jordan Lamotte was there, so that was cool. Got to talk with him for a bit.
Oh, Jordan, I've never met him, but I've heard nothing but great things. His little engravings have been fantastic, or however he does it. I don't understand it. I can't even. I can't wrap my head.
We talked as soon as I saw him. I pulled him aside and said, "Hey, I want to talk about this Kafkari stuff that you've been doing."
Kafkari, that's the name of it. That's the name of it. Yeah,
and where you learned it and all this, and it was not a week-long course. Is basically what he told me. He was in India for 6 months or something like that.
Yeah, I would say that guy. That guy needs to be on a podcast telling that story, because I followed it along when he was over there, and he was over there for a long time studying with absolute masters, and that's just got to be an interesting story that people need to hear.
Yeah. We're not really an interview show, but I'd love to sit down and talk to him for a while about it.
That's fair. Yeah.
The guys on Hustle and Grind should have him on, and
it would be a good one.
Pull that out of him. Yeah. But it was cool to meet him, and so we had a good time at Neil's. And that was the beginning of being tired for the week because we didn't get back till what time was it, Parker? Midnight?
We didn't get back, around midnight, maybe even like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
It was very late.
That was day one after not sleeping. Well, after having like an hour-long nap from the red-eye flight. So
Total sleep that day was probably less than 2 hours.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's rough.
But yeah. But I gotta bust Jerid's balls right now.
It's time.
It's
time.
So Mr. Jerid is not on the podcast because he's out visiting some friends in North Carolina. But this guy, he was all happy Friday morning that he went. He was one of the few that ran to the Microtech booth because he wanted the Microtech knife. And Parker's sad because that kid slept in an extra 10 minutes and missed it by less than 2 minutes because the guy
there was probably 5 people in line ahead of me, and then they announced they're all sold out, and I was like, damn.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So Jerid's all happy that he gets his Microtech knife, and then Friday night when we went to dinner, he went out with Micah and those guys. And Saturday morning, he's in a pissy mood, and I'm like, "What's going on? I can't find my knife." I'm like, what? The one you just bought? Yeah. Did you check here? Did you check there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't find it anywhere. So he's in a pissy mood all day. We get to, we had pizza, with Brian House and those folks, and Noah's got this goofy look on his face, and he says to Jerid, "Micah has to talk to you." And I think Noah blew it a little bit. Like he was a little too serious, and like you could tell something was going on. And Micah had his knife because he left it. I guess, left it in his car or something like that.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, they should have played it off. Like they were sitting there like, he should have told the story that I lost my knife and all this. And then Micah should have just pulled a knife and said, "Look at this. Look what I got." And started flicking it in and out.
He could have rode that until at least Sunday. Like he should have had that at least till Sunday. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then Jerid, of course, is leaving Sunday by 10, 11.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going back in the room. He's forgetting this, forgetting that. And then he's gone. He's already left. What time was it, Parker? Like 11:30? Noon? It was noon.
For what?
For when Jerid texts me back and says he forgot his Crocs.
Oh, yeah, that was like
Crocs.
That was like was it the last day?
Yeah, that was Sunday.
So that must have been like 10:30, 11.
I think it was after 11 because I remember it was after a normal checkout time. So it was between at least 11:30 and 12.
Wait, is that why you had Crocs on your table?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We held those Crocs for ransom.
I didn't get the joke at that point, but I was just like, I knew Crocs on the table had something to do with Jerid, but I had no idea that was part of this story.
I had a $1 sticker on them and Jerid's Crocs on the table. But he sends me a message, "Dude, I forgot my Crocs." And I sent him a text back that said, "Oh, that's a shame.
It sucks. Too bad.
That sucks. Too bad. We've already checked out."
You have to spend another $25 on Crocs.
Yeah. But Parker was nice enough to go back and get them. It would have been nicer if he didn't have his stinky socks still in.
Yeah, exactly.
Jerid.
And they're like crunchy socks too. They're not just
If you drop on the floor, they're gonna make a thud sound.
Yeah.
He's got those beat off socks. So
oh, come on. I didn't need to know that.
It's the gator skin sock.
That's an image I'll never need. So Jerid, I have your Crocs and I'm holding them for ransom.
Maybe I think maybe it might have been best for everyone if no one told them. Just maybe if they get left behind, they get left behind.
Right.
So it's the world telling him that he shouldn't have these.
And he said something like, "Oh, those are my expensive Crocs." I'm like, "What? The $25 ones?"
They're
cool. A lot of shit for someone who's literally wearing Crocs.
I know you wear Crocs because we've had this discussion before.
Yeah, I'm literally wearing Crocs right now. So
Moral of the story, Jerid, you need to take better care of your shit, man.
Oh, see, getting called out by the 19-year-old. How's that feel, Jerid?
Put a damn balloon on his belt buckle or something, like so he can find his stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It was great to hang out with Jerid here. It was great to see him at the show. I'd never met him in person before. I knew he was at Blade Show last year, but I never got a chance to meet him. So it was really cool to like catch up and do a little shop tour down here with him. I think Jerid had a great time. So.
Oh, you kidding? Yeah. He came back and he goes, I got to see the shop. It was like strutting around like a teenage girl.
He's funny. It was great to have him out. It was absolutely great to have it out. So
yeah, that's good. I did get a chance. I got a chance to stroll around Blade Show more this year than I normally do, and of course, I caught shit from Parker and Jerid for like, "Where have you been for 2 hours?"
Maybe that's why he didn't sell nothing.
Yeah, probably. But I spent a little time in the smaller room because we had a bunch of sponsors in the smaller room, which was cool. Sure. Over there, we had Mr. Travis Haynes at Pelican Paste. Get yourself some Pelican Paste, hard wax, soft wax, Pelican oil, hand salve, soap, and now he's got the and I forget the name of the product. Sorry, Travis. But the butter for the pans for seasoning your cast iron pans. He's got that as a new product. So yeah, get yourself some Pelican Paste, discount code TTT10. It was great to see Travis have a table for the first time, and I talked to him. Actually, we were chatting on my Discord this morning, and they did really well, and they'll definitely be back. So that's good. Yeah, good to hear.
I loaded up on Pelican Paste too because I use it for bedding tangs inside of hidden tang knives. It's great for it.
Yeah, and Travis is a good dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Over there is also Matt at Rock Solid Scales, the maker of Grip Tech, and he exclusively brought Grip Tech to the show and had a whole ton of different colors and color schemes and of Grip Tech. And actually, one of the number one knives that got picked up at my table was Jerid's Damascus knife with the copper Grip Tech on it, really? Which I'm pleased to say Jerid sold at the show. So so that was great.
Do they make
Grip Tech? Get yourself some Grip Tech. Sorry, what's that?
Do they make Grip Tech in blocks, or is it just scales?
Yeah.
Okay,
he'll
cool.
make blocks and sheets.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I missed that.
Yeah, go check out Matt.
Yeah, I'll check him out.
Yeah, and use the discount code TTT10. Get yourself 10% off.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's lots of things over in the small room. Got to see the housemaid folks over there. Actually, I want to pause. I want to tell a really cool. What I think is, makers are cool, and our community is awesome. Yeah, and I know Kevin over at at Ameribraid. They have their, I think it's like a triple booth or whatever they have.
Big old booth.
I guess they had some car issues. They weren't able to bring all the stuff that they wanted to bring. They could only bring the 3 grinders. So he had all this space. And I guess he was talking with Brian, and Brian's like, yeah, we can only get a single booth this year, and next year we'll get a bigger booth and all this stuff. And Kevin said, well, why don't you just take we'll split this, and why don't you just take the booth right beside us? I'm like, how cool is that? Where you get, in this community, you get a grinder maker telling another grinder maker that you can have part of his booth right beside him.
That's incredible.
I think that is about the coolest thing in this community that somebody could do. So hats off to the Ameribraid folks. That was super nice. And, you're putting a competitor right beside you. That's, but we all got our arms around each other and holding each other up. So I think that's great.
It's all love.
Yeah.
That's really cool. It's really, really cool.
I spent way too much money at Blade Show. I don't know about you, but
ditto. Koa. Every year, man. Every year, high Koa gets me. But this year, from the
yes.
Oh yeah, you struck it big this year, didn't you?
Yeah, it was funny because the first time I met Denis was in 2022, I think, and I was behind Haikoa. I was Jerid, I think is his name. I'd met them, and I bought some koa, and he does a raffle every year. So for some absurd piece of koa. And the first year he did the raffle, you won. And I was like, wait, the YouTube guy won? I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I was like, this isn't fair at all. I was like, this game is rigged. It's rigged. I tell you, it's rigged. And then last year I didn't, I bought a bunch of koa from him, but I bought koa this year. And it's so funny because you and I talked at dinner about when I first met you was over the raffle of this piece of koa. And then Sunday he raffles off a piece of koa, and I won the koa this year, and it was really funny. There's this giant black. I don't even know if I want to cut it up. I think it's too cool to. It's a really giant piece of stabilized koa.
Yeah, and it's got a live edge on it too, which is cool.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
It was a beautiful piece.
Yeah.
I think it's 12 handle blocks of material or something like that.
I still haven't used all mine. Mine was 16-inch 4x4 16-inch block, and I still have enough for probably 6 knives.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to that guy because I mean he's an artist in his own right. Some of those
totally
the cultural weapons that he's doing, our historical weapons that he's doing, historical Hawaiian weapons. If anyone's not following Haikoa, then you got to check. I don't know if you have a koa sponsor, so I apologize, but yeah, koa's great. His stuff's great.
I love the natural tiger shark teeth ones, but the one he has with the Damascus tiger shark teeth,
yes,
incredible. And then he told me how much he was asking for that piece. I'm like, dude, you need to
not enough.
That
there's not enough.
Yeah,
he sold it. He sold it really fast, which means it was probably too cheap. That
was, and just the amount of koa in that thing is
massive.
Yeah.
And not cheap koa. Like he's cherry picking his own koa. I mean, the koa he has in those blocks are some of the nicest pieces of koa I've ever seen. So I buy from him every year. So I'm hitting him up throughout the year. I was like, hey, put it in my Blade Show box. And I pick it up from him at Blade Show.
Yeah, well, because of that big block that I got, I haven't bought koa in a while, but I did. Actually, I started the show, and this not a sponsor, but I'm going to give a free shout out to Sharp by Coop. Spent a lot of money over there.
Yeah.
Got 5 different knives photographed. So that was the start of the spending, and then ended up moving into just using nicer materials. So bought about $700 worth of ivory in the first day. Actually, that was Thursday morning. So that'll go on.
Mammoth ivory, correct?
Yes. Elfin ivory. But these dark gray, and they're probably, how thick do you think those were, Parker? Like half-inch thick?
Half an inch at least.
Yeah.
They're thick.
Big scales for like a frame. It'll be a frame handle buoy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So
great.
And
that'd be a cool challenge, a prehistoric challenge.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are going to do that though. And then I got an actual piece of white ivory that I've never used that I can make a full handle, like a gentleman's buoy kind of thing.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So,
that's going to be nerve-wracking.
Very.
The thought of it, the first thought I had was like, oh my God, that's terrifying. It's just absolutely terrifying.
When I was making the gold Damascus folders, the first time I'd used Molar before, which I absolutely hate.
More stuff.
But the ivory is a lot easier to work with, and I was doing the scales for that gold Damascus folder. But they're so thin at that point, and one wrong move, if I were to drop those from the top of my table onto the floor, just the scale, right, it would probably shatter. So you just got to be so careful with that thing. Drilling it, and getting some blowout. You're done.
Someone was telling me that they super glue a piece of wood when they're super gluing a little piece of wood to the backside and drilling through it to keep from blowing out. And I was like, cool tip. I was like, I'm still not doing it, but it's a cool tip. So
I had the painter's tape on the top, rubbed really fine so that I wasn't chipping it out. And actually it drilled really easily.
Yeah.
But
It smells like a toothache taste. Like it's like
it's a good one.
It's a weird material.
Yeah. It's definitely smelly. What was the other wood? Ironwood smells like old feet.
Ironwood's tough too.
Yeah. Both of those not fun. I think the molar smells worse for some reason. That's where all the crappy food gets chewed.
Yeah, by far. Yeah, it's a weird one. Westinghouse smells like old Band-Aids. It's like it's weird. Like it's all weird stuff.
I have some canary wood. I think it's canary wood that I've never used, and someone said, yeah, it smells like spring tulips.
No way.
I haven't used it yet. I have a whole ton of it because I bought someone else's wood collection, but I've never used it.
I'm about to make all my knife handles out of canary wood then.
Yeah. So. Right? What else? And I went to Rob's Wildwood and I dropped the usual $400 or $500 there. I'm really into the burl wood, so I'm using that a lot. Yeah. And the other thing I picked up was some mother of pearl, which I've never used.
Yeah. There was a bunch of pearl there this year.
Yeah. There was a guy that had like a whole table. That's all he had.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I got mine. And I was telling Parker, like, I'm going to be working on an auto soon. And I think I'm just going to like little accents, like the top of the button release or the top of like the thumb stud, just do a little piece of mother of pearl there or something, just some cool stuff. I don't know if I want like the whole scale.
Yeah, it's also terrifying. It's an expensive oops.
Yeah. It is like the little scale, like, this big, like 1 inch by 2.5 inch was like $125 or something.
What's your favorite thing you picked up?
Probably the ivory.
That
set of gray, like the huge set of gray ivory bark. I think it's really cool. And it's really thick and the color goes right through it. It's almost like this was like stuck in the mud in the bottom of a marsh or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no white in it. It's all gray. It's like a marbly gray. It's really weird.
That's a good set.
It's really unique. So it'll look good on it. It's the color tones that I like, the darker color tones.
Sure. Yeah.
So it'll look good.
Yeah, that'll pop with something big and Damascus-y.
Yeah. What was your
Parker get? Did Parker get anything?
Yeah, Parker, tell us what you bought at the show.
Bought a couple of knives. Missed out on the Microtech, the Blade Show exclusive, so I ended up just going to some booth. I don't remember who it was. Ended up just picking up a Ultratech there. Bought a couple other. Bought a knife from, I think it's Les Adams.
Mm-hmm.
A little auto from him.
Nice.
That was very nice. And just a couple other like little folders just for like gifts for my family.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Les Adams, it just reminded me. I did another thing this year. I finally signed up for the Knife Makers Guild. And Les is actually the president of the Knife Makers Guild. Figured wouldn't hurt. Might as well get into something else, submit knives for judging for different awards. So I got to go to Blade Texas or Blade next year to get all that, get into like the voting status or whatever. But
yeah, I was supposed to sign up for that for this show because I was like, oh, this like 5-piece Honyaki set would be a really, really great set of 5 to enter in the judging and just like 5 different, single velvet chef knives. But, whatever. It's fine. I'll do it next year. So I'll do it next time. Next time, I promise. Next time. So
yeah. If I'm a voting member by then, give me a call and I'll sign it for you.
Yeah. Alfredo is pretty adamant about being one of the ones to sign for me.
Yes. I had Jason Fry sign and Kelly Vermeer Vella and who else? I don't remember who else. Oh, Kyle Daly.
Oh, that's right. Kyle, he got best chef knife last year.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Do you watch the awards this year?
I did. Yeah.
Gabe won best Damascus.
Yeah, he was so deserving.
Yes,
I mean, I've been looking at that piece, just drooling over that piece since he's posted it, and I mean, it was the definition of clean mosaic.
Yeah,
there was no discernible where the restacks were, the feather it feathered out really nice. The layers were crisp and clean. I mean, if he didn't win it, I would have been mad. I would have been. He was so deserving of it. So
Did you hold that piece?
I did.
Yeah,
I did. I didn't get a lot of chance to look at it here, but I saw his. I got a lot of time to spend with him in Knife Show in Austria.
He had that piece in Austria.
I don't know if that piece was in Austria, but he and I talked a lot in Austria, and he was at the house. He was at the house. On Friday,
he came.
Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah.
He was actually back out on Sunday night too. So
nice.
He's great. He's a really good dude.
Yeah. I don't remember Friday, Saturday, Sunday. One of those days, I held it for a while and looked at it, and it's crazy. It's beautiful.
It was exactly what Best Damascus should be. It was exactly what Best
I completely agree. I'm glad we stepped away from some of the classic patterns, and we got into some of the more recent developments.
There are things outside of Turkish twist and ladder pattern. So there is a world beyond Turkish twist. So
yeah, exactly. So it was great to see that win, and it is such a clean, like the etching on it is perfect. Like I don't know how many times he etched that, or it just went perfect. It was really good.
I think he's just got it down. He's got that he's just got that process down. I mean, he clearly puts in a lot of effort into his etch because it's perfect. It is absolutely perfect, and it's just satin. It is this perfect satin black through and through. It's just
I talked to him a bit about that, and I said, "Oh, yeah, like I use in Morocco because he learned most of that stuff from Morocco, hanging out with Morocco." And I said, "Are you using like Morocco's coffee process?" And he's like, "No, he's not using." Not using coffee, he's not using ferric. And I'm like, okay, we got to talk because I want to know what it is. So I'm going to reach out to him and say, hey.
Yeah, he's an interesting dude who just he is dove in. He is all in. He's all in, and he is a master at it too. So I mean, he is doing such a great job with it.
Yeah,
and great dude as well. Great dude and great brewer and great whiskey maker. I'm like, what the hell doesn't he do well? So I was like, can you just do one thing bad, Gabe? Like, come on. So, he's a good dude.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a maker who's excelled like more and as fast as he has.
Yeah, I mean, he is right. I mean, I don't know how long he's been making, but I feel like I heard his name for the first time like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think it's been 3 years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
just a master of his craft. So
I remember Spencer, one of my buddies who's in Anchorage, had told me about his buddy Gabe, who owns Anchorage Forge, who had just started and like totally jumped in with both feet, and he bought like the 110.
He's got a 110 Yang. Yeah.
No. This is the press.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah.
He's got the 110-ton press from Cole and all this stuff that he's bought, and I was like, damn.
He's got a flooded 3x79 from Tobin, I think.
Yeah,
it's really like that. I got to see that machine in Austria too, and it's an amazing grinder. I mean, it's not a cheap grinder, but it's a great grinder. So but yeah, he does a good job with it.
That's another reason to go to to the Austrian Knife Show next year to see all the stuff that we don't see.
It was so different. It was completely different vibe. Completely different vibe. It was amazing. It's completely different vibe.
What's attendance usually like over there?
I think maybe this is like inside pool or whatever, but I think that I don't know the exact. Well, I don't remember the exact numbers. I've heard the exact numbers, but I can tell you it was twice what they anticipated. They had 2 times as many as they anticipated. By 2:00 on the first day, they saw more people than they expected to see for the whole weekend in terms of customers. And I think the vendors were like 80, and then he's moving into a bigger space, and I think he'll have 150 makers or something like that. And it'll be, and from my understanding, the word has spread on that show, and makers are reaching out left and right, and sponsors and things like that. So, I mean, Martin, a lot of credit to Martin for really, 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 a lot of credit to your choice this week of, maker spotlights, of the effort and just absolute sweat equity he put into making that a great show.
And I can't imagine like I've organized little things, but to organize something like that, like it just sounds like a massive headache. But to do it so well for the this was out of the gate the first year, and it just
Oh
went off
yeah,
like a
yeah,
bang.
yeah.
So kudos to him for making that happen.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he posted he was looking at a new space, and I shot him a message and shot him a text, and was just like, "Do you want my money now or what? What? Like, do you want my just tell me when you want my money because I'll be back without question." So it was a great show.
Yeah, I mean,
Fantastic.
between you and him and the other guys that I talked to, like, I think I'm sold going back next year. And like, it's not even about going to the show. I just want to, you know, of course I want to see the show. You know what I mean? I
Well,
want to
yeah,
be at the show and exhibit at the show. But
yeah.
the
It's like
area,
yeah.
the vacation around it sounds awesome as well.
Oh yeah, the little town that he's in is fantastic. There's so many makers there. We were joking all weekend that gender reveals in Austria is a blue power hammer or a pink power hammer because everyone you talk to over there has a power hammer. So it's
Yeah, I'm having power hammer envy now.
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm on the power hammer train. I'm desperately shopping for a 55. So trying to find one. We'll see.
Yeah. I thought you didn't forge that much.
Yeah, but this is my next rabbit hole. I think is creating steel. I think that's the. I think that's it
Nice.
hurts me to even say it, but I think my next rabbit hole is creating steel because I think there's when finishing out Hamones the way that I do, I think there's a lot more that can be done, and I think that with induction forges, I know that's a 4-letter word to the Woots crowd, and God forbid someone call that Woots, which it's really not. I would agree, but I think that there's a way to create shallow hardening steels that are probably a little more reactive than what is available kind of off the rack, and so I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole, and then the stainless Woots thing, and then Orshigane I think is can be done in a induction forge in a way. So that's the next thing, and then so I have a 50-ton press, and so a 55 kilo power hammer, the little 55 Anyang I think is what I want. So now I got to find an anvil, and now I'm talking
Yeah.
about hammers, and I bought tongs, and so it's coming, but it's not fast. I'm the peak of cheap and patient, so I'll wait for it to find used and I'll jump on it. So
You definitely have the location. Like you
I
got
got
the
room.
property and the land and the shop
I got room.
to do
Yeah,
it.
I got room. Yeah, I got room.
Whereas
So.
like my neighbors are about like 35 feet away. So
Wow. Yeah.
even using the press is loud. If I could have a power hammer, believe me, I would have had. I probably would have a 250 or something by now.
Did have one for about 2 weeks, and then you just had to get rid of it.
Yeah,
Way too loud.
My first power hammer was a tire hammer that I made, having no concept of how loud it was going to be. So yeah, that didn't last long.
Yeah, there's a 155 for sale about 2 hours from me, and I can't even look at the ad anymore because like a 155 is too big. Yeah, 155. It's 175, 175 pound. It's too big.
An Anyang?
Yeah, it's a 175
that's
Anyang.
like saying this anvil is too big. What are you talking about?
Because I don't want to pour a footer. I don't want to put. I mean, I think it's a 6-foot footer you got to put on that thing. So then I'm getting
that's true.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I don't think I need it. I think you always buy. I think my concession of buying a 55 is actually stepping up to be more. 55 kilo is stepping up to be more than what I need.
Right. So you're going to use it for forging knives? Or you're going to be using it for Damascus, or
Yes,
you don't know yet?
probably. Yeah. So I mean, I'm really interested in these like forged S grind and forged geometry that a lot of these chef knife makers are doing. But really, I think it's coming from a perspective of like processing my own steel, which doing anything with like Woots or like a stainless Damascus, because stainless Damascus from my brief conversation, or stainless Woots from my brief conversation, is it melts easier, but it's harder to move.
Yeah, that's like all stainless.
Yeah. So it melts easier, but it's harder to move. And a 50-ton press can manipulate the ingot, but but like a 15 kilo power hammer will not move it well. A 25 will do it pretty okay. I think Josh Prince has like a 30, but a 55 would kind of step up to be a little more than what I really need. So the goal here is not to use it in any kind of production means where I'm trying to do 50 at a time. I'm
Sure.
really kind of trying to laser focus, because my mind works in batches. Like I love batch work. So if I get something that's capable of doing, giant batches, the next thing you know, I will be. That's efficiency. It's all about trying to find efficiencies. So.
Yeah. In fact, Coy Baker was here in February, and we made some stainless Damascus, and I had attempted a few times before that, and had very marginal success. But I think we dialed it in now, and even with speaking with Josh in last October at Maker Camp, and what he's changed on his process. I think we lowered the forging temp a little bit when we were forging, because the main problem is like the cracking of the 154.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I wonder if RWL would be any different than CPM 154. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the properties of RWL much, but
on paper it's the same as CPM 154, but yeah, I don't know. I would wonder if it would be different. Hey, I don't know. This is a rabbit hole.
Trying to forge it under like half an inch is like hitting a solid piece of stone in the press. Like it just doesn't, like hitting a cold, like trying to press a cold piece of mild steel or something. It doesn't move, but you get it really hot and then send it through the rolling mill, and you can get some.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How many ton is your press?
It's a 30-ton press.
Yeah, I think Josh said I think he has a 50-ton press, and he can get them down to about a quarter of an inch, and then he hits them on the hammer. So
yeah, rolling mill helps. Definitely helps, because you don't have much contact area as long as it's hot. We did lock up the rolling mill about 3 times, but actually I have to do some of that tomorrow morning, because the stuff we made, I had it down to like 3/16, but now I'm going to be making some folders, so now I got to take it down to less than an eighth.
You gotta keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. But at least I'll get more material this way.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah, but I got to get that video out in conjunction with his release of the production line. I think I'm trying to do that.
Oh, nice. So nice. That'll be good timing.
Yeah. But speaking of hammers, I want to talk about our last sponsor, which is Frank and Nita over at Two Basterds, Texas Smithy and Supplies. If you need a hammer, those are the guys to go and see. Frank is definitely one of the best dressed men at Blade Show. Got to see him, and Nita's super nice. He's I don't know. Do you know Frank? Have you ever met Frank?
Didn't meet him. I kind of looked around. I didn't get to walk around as much as I hoped, and he was one of the ones I was looking for, and I didn't get a chance to catch him.
Hey, he is a great dude. He loves his stories, loves to talk. I'm surprised he makes it halfway around Blade Show, honestly. Like he's a talker, which is great. I love talking to Frank. And we saw him after we left your place. We saw him at Neil's, which was great.
Oh, nice.
So, but you need a hammer. Definitely check out Frank, and go get yourself a fat peen, a straight peen, a curvy peen, whatever it is, because I'll do this for Jerid. Ain't it grand to have a fat peen in your hand? I'm trying to make you proud, Jerid.
It's amazing.
All right. Hey, why don't we move on to Maker Spotlight, and we'll wrap this up.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's start with Parker. We haven't heard from him. Parker, who you got this week?
My Maker Spotlight is going to go to Elijah White at Working Hand Forge, who is a fellow 19-year-old bladesmith. Not fellow, I don't make knives myself, but
you made a few.
He's got some great stuff, so go ahead and check him out.
Yeah, that's working_hand_forge. I met Elijah. Parker and I both met Elijah. What was this, like 3 years ago at Blade Show, Texas?
Yeah, I believe it was Texas. You had a good conversation with him.
Yeah, him and I think his father. So he was 16 at the time, and cranking out knives. And you look at his knives now, and just beautiful knives, beautiful sheaths, just a kick-ass maker. And every time I see him, I'm like, Parker, you see, you could be making knives like this and selling them. I finally convinced him Parker's going to be coming over this week and making a knife. So
gotta get on that press, man. Get on that press. It'll be fun.
Big things in store.
That's right. So go check out Elijah White. Really, he's going to be one to watch over the next couple of years for sure. All right, Trey, who do you have?
I've got Francesco Piccinin. I don't really know his last name. It's Piccinin. Italian maker. He's been making for about 2 years, maybe 3 years now. He won Best Fighter from the Knife Makers Guild this year with this beautiful fighter. I mean, it's wild. He's got this like little Turkish twist hunter that he did. It's a takedown northern hunter that he made. I even like one of the knives that I was excited to buy at Blade Show was one of his knives, and it's this little red pen knife that he had on his table out of stainless Damascus. Just a super, super talented maker that has just really escalated faster than I think. Makes me jealous. Every time I look at his knives, they make me mad because they're just that good. They're just that good. And also humble maker, great dude. He's just a overall great guy too. So just check him out.
Yeah, I'm looking at the one he's got pinned, the one from
the blue one.
For the green handle one from Texas. Right.
Yes.
I think the steel is reminiscent of what Kelly's doing. It's a little bit like her riptide pattern, but just beautiful, like just beautiful lines. Yeah.
The construction, the polish, the etch, he takes it like a lot of the Italians. He takes things very seriously. So
the sheath work is incredible.
He dove right in and he's doing great with it. He does a good job. So.
Yeah, really nice. Good choice. And I wasn't following him, but now I am.
Nice.
Treviso. Where's Treviso?
He's northern Italy somewhere. He's near Alfredo. So he came over to Alfredo's house when I did my Italian tour.
Oh, see, I'm going to southern Italy in the fall, and now I think next year maybe we got to do northern Italy. Don't tell my wife I'm planning this around knife makers.
It's okay. But you're still in Italy, so it's not like you're going to.
Yeah, exactly. Right? It doesn't matter.
You're not going to Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Like you're going to Italy. Like
Sure, we lost all our listeners from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, whatever you just said.
Sorry about those three. So.
Speaking of losing or gaining listeners, another thing of Blade Show that we still have not figured out. So 2 things. Mm-hmm. The first one I knew about, where we've been bugging Jerid. Jerid's been bugging himself or needling himself about the Cotopaxi vest. The rainbow Cotopaxi vest that he's been wearing. Well, Lawrence had stickers made of a Cotopaxi vest, and we had some on the table, and I had one on my lanyard or whatever. And Jerid couldn't figure out where they were coming from. So that was funny. But there's another one. So we came in, it was Friday, some point Friday, whether it was Friday morning or something like that. We got to the table and Jerid had made this. So I made the hats and the shirts for the podcast for us to wear. And Jerid's responsibility was to make the podcast stickers. So I didn't think anything of it. Friday, I see stickers. One is this logo, like our normal logo, and another one that said, "I'm the 5th listener to Triple T podcast." And I thought, that's really good, Jerid. Jerid was really inventive. And Jerid says, "I told you I was making stickers." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Why did you bring that sticker?" I'm like, "I didn't bring that sticker. We have it's not like someone dropped off 5. There was a stack of like 50. So someone had made those stickers and left them on. So we still don't know who it was.
He got in there while no one was at the table as well.
I think it was early Friday is what it was.
Yeah. Well, now I'm mad that I didn't get I'm the 5th listener sticker.
Right. So whoever you are, you better own up to it so that we can both thank you and, I was going to say make fun of you, but there's nothing to make fun of. I mean, that was such a great idea. Why didn't we? Why didn't we think of something more inventive than just our regular logo?
Right.
Man,
what if next year you get? I'm the 6th listener. I'm the 7th listener. Like it just keeps rolling.
Getting them one at a time. Yeah. Except don't tell our sponsors that. They don't need to know that.
700th listener. So,
right. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we're over 1,000 weekly, so we're doing okay.
Oh, nice, man. That's nice. I mean, I listen every week. It's great.
Oh, well, thank you. I think that's the show, guys. I mean, Trey, it's been great having you on. Give everybody your socials, where they can find you, all that stuff. It'll be in the show notes as well, but do some shameless promotion.
It is Third Hill Customs anywhere and everywhere. So 3RD HILL and customs. And any customers looking out there, I don't like doing customs, so thanks. So
you and me both.
Yeah. Customs bog it all down. But no, Third Hill Customs on everything. Facebook, which I'm not active on hardly at all, but Instagram, Reddit, kitchen knife forums. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at everywhere.
Yeah. And, it took me a while, probably, I won't say a year, but the better portion when I first met you to clue in the Third Hill Customs with your name, Tre Hill, Third Hill. Yeah. I'm not that quick on the uptake.
Well, it gets even worse because I live on Hill Road, which is an absolute coincidence. So
you should just tell people your great great grandfather owned that entire,
This is my pappy's land.
Parker, where can everyone find you?
I don't really do media, so nowhere, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But maybe when I start building my name out here, making these knives.
Yeah, I was telling Parker that he should name himself. We should call him Baby Shark Knives, since my logo is a shark.
Duke Customs, baby. Shark. Duke Customs. Duke Customs is really, really great. So our Duke Knives is fantastic. Don't use customs. Everyone asks for customs then, and don't do it.
We were talking about that yesterday, and I said it'd be funny if I had a knife model called the Duke.
Duke folders. Duke folders.
Yeah,
it's really great.
One model called the Duke.
Yeah. Get into the ballad songs, man. Start doing ballad songs.
You have no idea how long I've been trying to get my dad to start doing ballad songs, man.
Do you have ballad songs? Do you use them?
Yeah, I do have ballad songs. I've been flipping since I was like 12 years old.
See, I'm telling you, there's something to it. I think Blade Show needs to acknowledge. I think Blade Show needs to officially. My only critique of Blade Show is Blade Show needs to officially acknowledge the ballad song kids. I think it's good for the community. Well, they have to do something.
They do make up a pretty as much as we, the older guys, we're making fun of them, or we're annoyed that they're at the show. They pay money to be at the show. They're a large contingent of the show.
Oh, yeah.
And they pay a lot of money. So they need a category too.
And all the ballad song makers too. Like, it's a huge portion of the show.
Yeah, look at the camera setups those kids were walking around. I say kids, like I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but like just that's what it is.
There's kids walking around with like $3,000 DSLRs.
Yeah.
There was one of them had a red camera, there was a red camera and following around one of these kids, filming flipping upstairs. Blade Show has to acknowledge them. You have to acknowledge them. It's unfair. They may be weird. Yeah. We may not understand it, but that's not for me. It's not for me to pass judgment.
Well, it is the only. We can talk about folders and all this stuff, but it's the only knife that actually takes skill to use. All the others is you just open up whatever. There's some skill there as opposed to just pressing the button and opening it or flicking it open with your thumb for the thumb stud. So something to be said for that.
All the kitchen knife makers are buying ballad songs, and we're having next year at Blade Show. We're having the first annual kitchen knife ballad song flip off. So we're gonna do it. So
And then we should have all the Balisong guys like cut up onions or something.
They
and,
should,
see
yeah. Well, no,
who
they should.
can-
They should. What they really should do is stand in the crowd and laugh at us. That's what I want. I want them to stand around and make fun of us and laugh at us for how bad we are at this. Yeah, they should. I like the crowd.
That would be a funny gag. Like that's
yeah.
yeah. It would be good to see some more, life humor get injected into Blade Show, and it's not the stuffy old man club kind of thing.
Blade Show
It's
needs
nice
to
to
grow
have
up.
some young blood in Blade Show.
You have to.
Yeah, I agree. ABS as
Otherwise,
well.
the whole thing dies if you don't have new people getting in. So it's a great place to leave it.
Yeah. Well, with that, I think that's a great show. Tre, thanks so much for joining me. And Parker, we should have you on more often.
This is great, man. It's good
All
to see
right.
you guys again.
Thanks, guys. Yep.
Hope everyone had a good year at the show.
This music's jamming. I love your logo. I love your intro and outro music.
And that's a wrap.